It's another fabulous edition of Style by God, Style for a Purpose. It's good to see you all here today. Let's see, waiting for... So today we are going to continue part 2 of our interview with the fabulous Fontessa. She is here today looking mighty fabulous.
Thank you. You too.
Yes, I love it. I love
Thank
it.
you.
So tell me, can you explain what you're wearing today? What was the inspiration for what you have on today?
I believe that it had a lot to do with the movie that just came out.
Yes, Black Panther.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Wakanda Forever.
yes, I haven't been to see it yet.
Okay.
I have not had the opportunity, so all this is intuition.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
what I hope was portrayed, which is to that they spoke about the kings and queens that we are,
Yes.
and that I always speak about my kingdom dressing,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
knowing our heritage. But from what I've read and that I do know about the movie, hopefully the young people are become more inspirational and happy about who they are
Mm-hmm.
and their heritage.
Yes.
Because, you know, it's like all the kids, we'll see them with the gold in their teeth and lots of jewelry and what have you. And that is inherited because that's how we've always dressed. It's just that we didn't know that, you know, and they're not taught that, so therefore it's not embraced. So they don't, you know, no one says, oh, well, yeah, but, you know, you're dressing just like they did way back, da 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 da.
Okay.
So we have the people from Africa wanting to dress like us Westerners, and we who live here are busy trying to look more African, you know. So,
wow. Okay.
so once, you know, we have to come to a happy medium there. And understand that all of it is beautiful, whichever direction you take. So me, I am saluting and celebrating Black queens. That's why I am dressed the way I am. And if I had gone to the movie, this is what I would have worn. So I would have gotten a front row seat. They would have let me in first. Because Your Highness is here.
Yes, I love it. So you were just explaining to me. Now I have my fan right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had to school me a little bit on how to hold the fan and what certain ways of holding it, what that represents, and what that means, what it symbolizes.
Like when a woman is flirting, you know, she sort of hides behind the fan. You know, she just uses her eyes. Okay. Right, that's flirtatious. And if, I'm just quick because it's a lot of talk with fans. If you're very quick like this, it's agitation. I'm finished. I am done. You know how the girls nowadays, they go, I am done with him. You know, well then, you know, you do agitation and then done. Finish.
Done.
And move out.
Out of here.
Yes. Yeah, but it's so many, you know, if you're doing this is just for comfort pretty much. But, you know, you're peaceful and you're enjoying your surroundings. So all of this, talking with these men, see how I move this?
Yes.
See, you know, it's a lot of, it's a good thing to study.
It is. It's interesting because I didn't know about all the different
there's different
ways of meeting.
There are different languages.
Yeah.
Right, with the fan, and they used it back, I think, in the 1800s. They were very popular. And of course, you know, back in the day of Cleopatra, they would fan the queens.
Yes.
You know, and you know, and they would just adorn the air, which we're needing.
Yes.
No,
which we are needing it
A little
today
air
because
today.
it's what almost 80 degrees.
Yes.
Here.
Yeah.
So yes, this is what do they call that? Unseasonable,
yeah,
weather.
Yeah.
So for February, so it's hot for February. So we're trying to be fabulous in in all this attire we have on, and
you look so pretty.
Thank you.
I love this color on you too.
Yes, this is the brand color for Rah Style Appeal, the hot pink fuchsia. So we're going to talk about this piece that I'm wearing a little later. We'll share it. I'm going to stand up and model it some more so you all can see exactly how it's made. But this was put together. This was made by the fabulous Fontessa just for me. So I'll stand up so you can see the full look of it. Okay. So,
and I didn't answer your question. This was originally my niece in DC is married to a gentleman from Nigeria, and the family sends these little outfits, but what they are tops with the lot of them the fabric that's wrapped, you know, to do that little saran wrap skirt. And my niece is not a dresser like that, but this particular fabric, they will say it's African fabric, but it's actually made in Europe. It's actually done in Europe. And this fabric goes for $100 a yard. I know, quite expensive. So, you know, it's like the people who, you know, if someone see you in an outfit made of this quality, they figure you must have money.
Right.
So that's what this represents. It costs me $0. And I just took the wrap and changed it into a dress.
Okay.
And I opened the top and made it into a jacket because I don't wear the tops either. And these little stones, you know how I am. I had them around the house and just sort of
embellished it with wow, with the stones.
So
that's beautiful.
I hope I look like a queen to everyone. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, you do.
Alrighty. Yeah.
Okay, we got some comments. I thank you everyone who's commenting, who's joining in. We thank you for being here, and I will get to view those in a moment. Right now I can't see what's being said from where I am, but thank you for joining and viewing. So we're going to continue on because Fontessa has some fabulous information and stories to share. So
thank you.
Yes. So continuing on, now you have shared with me about being
a million things.
Yes, you've shared a lot. But I'm going to start off with what you shared with me about being on the Chicago Fashion Exchange Board.
Oh yeah, yes, that was back in 1980. However, there was an election done in 1979 where Chicago had their first female mayor, who was Jane Byrne, and she and her daughter were both dressers. So therefore, with her coming into office, she embraced us with this. She got a lot of heck from it, but she embraced the fashion field because they both enjoyed dressing and looking nice at all times and what have you. And so being was general manager of a major boutique between Randolph and State, which I don't know how many people know where that is. At that particular time, the owner of the store recommended me to go because at that particular time, as general manager, I was receiving students from FIT and from Parsons to come over, and they would study, and a part of their class was to learn how to merchandise, learn how to do displays, learn how to, you know, do what I do. So, and at that time also I had choreographed a fashion show for my boutique, which I've got a small write-up in Women's Wear Daily, and they were very shocked to see that I was a black woman who produced that directed and choreographed this show.
Wow.
So, so all of those things led into me being appointed and elected to sit on the Chicago Fashion Exchange Board, which I took it as an honor. Because a lot of the designers, like today, are of color. I don't want to just say black, but they are of color.
Right.
And so a lot of times they do not have anyone promoting and pushing them and what they're doing. So sitting on the board, I had the opportunity to view some of the up and coming designers. Once the designers heard that I was sitting on the board, they knew I was representing them. So they felt confident to come and show their wear. And what we would do is critique their work and pick out, who we felt was going to go places and do things and get their things in Marshall Fields or some of the major stores, around Chicago, and then hopefully on to, your major cities. So that was our job there. And Carney Wiggins, who's gone home to be with the Lord, he was one of the designers who, one of the outfits I brought today is something he taught me. I looked at his work and I said, I love it, and that has to do with pleating. And for spring, summer, for myself, for my collection, you will see a lot of pleating.
Oh, really?
In my collection, because I don't like to do what everyone else is doing, and I don't want to meet myself. I don't want anyone to have what I have. Even if I'm doing this for someone else, it could be the same design, but it's going to look totally different. Yeah. So I'm taking a somewhat different direction, but at any rate, he was one of the people that we looked at his clothes. He actually had started putting his clothes in the boutique that I was general manager over. And from there, he was able to get picked up by Marshall Fields. Yeah. His line, his stuff was incredible, but he was before his time, so to speak, so, all sorts of bad things took him out, but while he was here, he touched a lot of people, including myself. So yeah.
Has his line continued, or did it stop?
It stopped. It stopped because he was the only one that could do him, and I think I came close to him because he always told me, "This is so strange. You're going to share this," but he said to me, he says, "You are a very feminine woman, but I don't see you with a man." Isn't that strange? And he said this when I was I was maybe 30 or 31. And I'm like, why? And he says, because you, your dreams are larger than, and they interfere with what you're doing. And I didn't get it. I get it now. I get it now. It has to do with the choices of men that I'm attracted to.
That's
what
I was about to ask.
It has to do with that. My choices. So being my choices are off, we're going to leave that off. But I'm available.
She's available.
But at any rate, he would share, he would allow me to come into his workroom. He wouldn't let anyone else in.
Wow. Because
designers are like that. They're very private. How they get to this point, to that point, that's their secret. They may share a wee bit, but not all of it. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and I just felt such an honor. And he was the first man that I saw that wore spats when spats were not even in. I love that he dressed from the the 40s or 20s. He dressed that way at all times. So a lot of his designs represent that era. He was one of those male designers because he loved women.
Mm-hmm.
He loved women.
Okay,
he had a lot of girlfriends. But he loves seeing a woman look like a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what one of the other things I admired about his work. It was structured, but them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I like. And what was his name again? What's his name?
Carney Wiggins.
Carney Wiggins. Okay, Carney Wiggins. Everyone. So look him up. Google him. See. Learn more about Carney Wiggins.
Yeah.
Sounds like a very interesting.
Yeah.
Person.
He was very interesting, to say the least.
Okay. Wow. So, what was some of your other firsts in the fashion industry?
Wow. Goodness. Let me see. Go back. I wish you could I didn't really think about this. First, besides doing management of boutiques and boutique lines,
or do you have stores? Now, I saw something interesting.
What was that?
You have a lot, Fontessa.
I know. Now I'm like, I have to think about.
Okay. So you worked as a showroom model for Valentino.
Right. Yeah. And this was back in the time where, at that particular time, he was just doing furs.
Oh.
It wasn't a line of clothes.
Okay.
And I was able to acquire that job through Ms. Johnson, who I spoke of at the other interview.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She had the money. She could afford to, to buy them. So she would always take me with her to buy her furs. So, really? Yes. And actually she was my mom always would keep me in some kind of little fur, mink something. Mm-hmm. But Ms. Johnson had a lot to do with me taking the attitude of a fur coat is nothing but a coat. And to treat it that way.
Oh.
And it is. That's how I treat my coat. It's just a coat. It's not, I only wear this to Sunday to church.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I only,
if I have to go to this, no.
Just wear the coat.
Just wear the coat. Throw it on with your jeans, your cowboy boots, and you wear it. Don't allow it to wear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
I love it. I love that.
She was very inspirational that way. She, just made me take on a different attitude towards luxury.
And that's what style is. It's all about attitude and confidence and not going by the status quo.
Right.
Just doing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's what it's all about. I love that. I love that. Just wear the coat.
Right, just wear it, It's like I look for days. Every go, aren't you going to sell your mink coat? I said, for what? I like my mink coat. I wait for days to get cold enough for me to put it on here.
And my favorite way to wear fur is with a pair of funky jeans and some boots.
Yeah. Mine is leather, I don't wear jeans. Yes. A little leather pad, a little suede pad, cowboy boots.
Yes.
I just think it's hot. Yeah,
I
think it's
a hot look.
Very
hot look. So, okay. Also, print modeling for Clairol.
Yes. Wow, interesting. This is a cute story. I was 18. I was coming out as a debutante when I got this job. And they were lifting my hair. They don't say lifting my hair from the brown, or it wasn't black, but dark brown hair that I had all the way up to blonde. But at the same time, I'm coming out as a debutante. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So and I had rehearsals once a week. So I would go for my liftings and they would do what they do, but then I would have to go back in and they would have to put a brown rinse in my hair so that I could go to my rehearsals. Some people are not, because back in those days, if you had blonde hair, they looked at you as a hussy. You was not
Really?
considered, you know.
You weren't taken.
Yeah,
You were looked down upon.
You was looked down upon if you
Okay.
had blonde hair at that particular time. So
now, was that just for women of color? If they had,
I would say more so for women of color, not so much.
Okay.
You know, they still had blonde hair because Marilyn Monroe. You got to keep
Right,
in mind
that's what I'm
was around that time,
Yes.
but she was considered very, you know, va va voom.
Yeah.
You know.
She was.
So, you know, that's where that saying goes, does blondes have more fun?
Right,
You know?
exactly. Okay.
And,
So,
so, but to have a woman of color, which, even though I'm brown now still, but I was darker brown, because I get lighter as I get older. But, when I was like 18, I was a darker brown than I am now. So with the blonde hair, that was a no. No, you were loose.
So how were you managing that between doing Clairol? So you were saying you would.
I would go like after school, everything, because I'm still in school. Remember? Yeah, because I graduated at 18. I had to go after school up there, and I had to go all the way up to Harlem. And I lived in Long Island, which is like, you know, take the bus, take the subway, you know, and you go and do that, and then, you know. But the timing of it was like close to graduation, where you wasn't in school so much. So you got to, you know, and they would just, like I said, do the lifting, take it gradually, because they didn't want me to lose hair. And they would do pictures. They didn't want, because my hair is very fine. So, you know, they would do it gradually. And then, like I said, they would put a rinse in my hair so I could go to rehearsals, which was on the weekend, you know. So, yeah.
Okay.
But it worked out.
Okay. Wow.
It worked out. They, you know, I think one time I was at rehearsals and I started sweating and the perspiration was brown, trickling. I was like, oh my God, and you can't dot it, because if you dot it, then the wrist comes out and then the blonde. It was very interesting. It was challenging, but yeah, I did that with blonde hair. I also did Miss Patty O'Cola with blonde hair, believe it or not.
What's that? Miss Patty
That was it was the second diet drink that came out.
Oh.
And that was done by Pepsi Cola. And I think it was Coca-Cola who had the diet drink Tab.
Yes, I remember Tab.
You remember Tab,
Yeah,
but you don't remember Patio Cola.
No, I never.
It had a short lifespan, I guess. But it was like when diet sodas first came out. So doing that, see, I was able to sport the blonde hair and, you know, I'm in little red tights and fishnet stockings and high heels and, you know, thought I was cute. But, yeah, it was a job, you know, so I always looked at what I did as a job. And I had wonderful chaperones. It was a husband and wife who were my chaperones. And they both were policemen. So I was very well protected. You know, I didn't have to worry, but even though I was young, I didn't have to worry about you know, so that's so important.
That covering,
I had that covering because and their daughter and I were close friends. So, you know, it's just like your parents taking you somewhere. If I had to do a photo shoot, they would go with me. So it's so, and I say all that, and I share all this to just say to the young ladies out there who's inspiring to do this, going to theater, modeling, dance, whatever your thing is, make sure that I know you feel you can do it yourself, and maybe you can, but it's so important that you have with you a chaperone. That's that other ear, that other eye, that other everything. That's your protection. Super, super important. So I was, you know, whatever gig I got, I was like, I didn't worry about it. I was a kid. I was, you know, carefree, you know, like I said, I had great chaperones, and that was the only way my parents somewhat agree. For me to be in that field, because my parents did not agree, you know, and I admire the young people who are coming along now that's in my field or going into the field, but they have the support of their parents. I didn't have the support of my parents with me.
So how did you work that out?
My brothers used to cover for me. My mom's sitting having listening. My brothers used to cover for me. I had gigs and things I had to do. And my mother would always have chores for me that would have to take place. But my brothers would cover for me, and I would go out, do the gig, get back home by such and such a time.
Really?
Because my mom worked at night at that particular time.
Oh.
So she never...
So how did you manage to get... I'm thinking that the chaperones were... Your parents had gotten them to be chaperones.
They knew that they would go with me, like if I'm doing photo shoots and so forth and so on like that. Or if I had a job for the Courier, which was a black newspaper in New York. They do all of that. But if I when I did Miss Patio Kohler, that was at night. That was up in Harlem, and it's cork and bottle. They was not in agreement with that. And of course, I would never tell them. I would meet them in Jamaica, which was like 30 miles from where I live.
Okay.
And then they would take me the rest of the way. So,
okay.
Yeah. I had to sneak.
Wow.
I had to sneak. Even when before I started modeling and I wanted to be a dancer, I had to sneak to do that. I come from a family, they were educators as well as being just strict. Plain old everyday strict. My mother's favorite word was, "When are you going to get a real job?" She never looked at my work in the industry as a real job.
Okay.
But so nowadays, parents are embracing their kids.
They embrace it,
in fact, I met a young lady about a month ago now in Joanne's Fabric. She's from Africa, and I actually follow her on Instagram. But her mom was there to buy her this $6,000 sewing machine so that her daughter can continue to produce her work. Wow. Even though the daughter is teaching at one of the universities right now, so she does her designing on the side. And I just thought I said, wow, I wish that could have been me. It's like where would I be had I had if I didn't have to sneak around, and so forth and so to do what I do. But it worked out. That was part of my journey.
That was part of my journey. Your journey's not over. No, I'm still going. Are you kidding? And it's just getting started. So wow. So now this is interesting. You worked as a wardrobe consultant for Good Times and Mash.
Yeah, in California. I had 6 years out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So what was that like?
It was interesting. It was hard, but it was challenging. It's like something, because every time you think of Hollywood, you think of glamour and,
right.
You don't look at the part of running around trying to put this together and find that in their size. And they got to be adjusted. You're like the gopher.
I get it.
And that's what that job is like. So you have to... People who take on that job, their dreams, of course, is to become the wardrobe person. So I wasn't the wardrobe person. I was the helper. Right. But you give you that's credits.
Right.
You did it. Pushing clothes down the street, whatever you had to do, and you're on the set from in the morning to evening, so you're going through everything they have to go through. In a sense, it's just that yours isn't as glamorous as theirs.
Right, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that thing that helped me a lot with theming. You think like I'm themed today.
Right.
I'm themed to be Black Queen, my fantasy. Okay. It's like putting together, finding the clothes that will work for what they're doing now.
Right.
Yeah, that fits in, or that's the look they want portrayed. This is how I want her. This is what I want her to say in this particular scene. You know, yeah. So
what exactly was your part in that?
Just helping the person in charge. Find things. You just go. It's like going to a thrift store.
So they had the vision, and then you were just helping the vision of what the thing
was. You look for so and so. This is what we're shooting for. So you look. So you would look. So we would come together and we would come up with our little outfits and who had the best look. So we made it work.
So So which particular celebrities on those shows did you?
Well, the number one was Bernadette Status. Because Bernadette's from Jamaica, Queens. She and I come out of the same dance studio.
Oh, okay.
She was the dancer. And then, God, it was so many of them. I ran into Micah Peters, Lester Wilson. Lester Wilson was a dance instructor for me. And Lester Wilson was the person, you may know his name or heard of his name. He's the one that choreographed Saturday Night Live with Don Travolta and all that. Michael Peters is the one that did Beat It with Michael Jackson. Yes. So we all come out of the same company.
Really?
So we're all we're just That's what we did. So we always reach and help each other. So that's how I got in the door. In the door for that one. With MASH had to do with the young lady and I living in the same apartment complex. She had a birthday. I designed a dress for her to wear to her birthday party, which was being held in Vegas. And, one thing led to the other. Good times I got to do. That was where I did Bernadette. I did for her a patchwork denim evening dress.
What?
Yes, ma'am. It was, so gorgeous. Princess with the little bolero jacket to match. And what she wanted was a yin yang painted on the bottom of her, because everything I did, like my pillows over here, airbrush. Even though I don't airbrush, but I love the art of it. But anyway, I had that painted on her dress. It was a beautiful dress, and it had the bolero had the yin yang on it as well. But that's what she requested, so that's what I gave. She was going to one of the awards, major awards, So that's red carpet. The red carpet, so good.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think I did something else for her. I did some sort of a Grecian gown. Because if you remember, she has a drop-dead body.
Exactly.
She is built.
Yes.
She is built.
Yes.
And it was like so wonderful to know that, she went on and she dropped out of that business and went on to become a mayor of one of the little cities in... Yes, really? in California. I try to follow my students. She was younger than myself. Yes, but we were all out of the same thing. You try to keep up with who's who and what's happening in their lives.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay. That's because I mentioned to you. It's like Barbara Proctor. Why was she such an impact? Why do I remember her? Because I was a young woman when I met her, but she headed up one of the largest advertising agency. She was the first Black woman to do that. But she was the first Black woman to say, you have an identity. and she, because we would be like the people who would attend her conferences and what have you. This is in Chicago. They would be, very wealthy women, Dr. So-and-so's wife. Mm-hmm. And she would have you get up and introduce yourself, just to point that out to you. Hello, my name is so-and-so, and I am Dr. So-and-so's wife, and yes, and I am, and she would go, stop, ladies. One of the first things, and that's something I preach also. You have an identity. That's why I'm loving Taffy and
Pastor Taffy.
Yes, yeah. Pastor Taffy. I'm sorry. I know she's a personal friend. She is. Or we will become a woman's identity and who she is. But she would she would tell them, she says, that is not your name. What is your name? You have an identity. See, they would always introduce themselves as, so-and-so's, wife. Dr. So-and-so's wife. So you still do not know their name.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Wow. And you don't think about it, but you do it. Mm-hmm. Like people may go, oh, well, this is Ra-Ra's husband. Mm-hmm. But what is his name?
Right.
You see? So we have to always keep all those things in perspective in our field, in our business, because if you're a strong black woman, like I was reading Barbara's story, and she would travel with her grandma. She lived with her grandma, and the grandma would go and get the Caucasian people's homes ready for them to come into for the, and anyway, she would say they would do things like, it was back in those days when they would go, oh, she's such a cute little girl, and her grandmother would say to them, well, no, she's not cute, she's very smart. And she said she remembered that. And then she says that was back in the time they would ask the kids, let me see you dance. Let me see, can you sing? Can you do it? And that's really true. And, she and her grandma would tell her, oh, no, she doesn't do any of those things. She's going to be somebody.
Wow.
And that stuck with her. Mm-hmm. Those are the words that stuck with her. She was going to be someone.
Right. Okay.
And her grandma ended up passing just before she truly became Barbara Proctor.
Okay.
Which is Proctor and Ganner. Yeah.
Procter and Gamble?
Yeah. Not Gamble. Gardner.
Oh.
Procter and Gardner.
Okay.
That was her advertising agency.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. She got major things, and she, even though she was a little guy starting off, she stood on principle. Like, I'm a sort of person, I stand on principle. I don't care. Count me out if it's not me. She would not take any liquor or tobacco as clients. I'm like, how could you do that? You're just starting out. She says, no. That's my principle. I'm standing on it, and that's what I'm doing. I love it. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah. And so these are, I'm for myself. I hope that I leave some sort of a legacy that people, young women like yourself and what have you, can look at. There was certain things that she said, did, or whatever that you learned from. Because I had great women that I learned from. Some of you heard of, some of you have not heard of. But my mom, for starters, but they left such an impact on me and my life. And that's why I don't give up. I may be 90, but guess what? I'm still dreaming.
I love it.
I'm still dreaming. I am not done yet. So part of it. I remember I telling you a story about, I said, I can remember living in my apartment in New York, and the gas bill would come or something like that, and I would say, let's see now, I need this piece of fabric over here. Do I pay the gas bill or do I buy the fabric? You know, when you're young, it's like, okay, I'm buying the fabric. I'm take a chance.
Yeah.
Because you believe in your dream.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what's so amazing about you for me is because you're still dreaming. You're not stopping.
No.
You're not stopping. I love that. That's so inspiring, motivating for me because even where I am, it's like, I'm not stopping.
No. You know, you get knocked down, but you get right back up.
You get right back up.
And you keep going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it's like, number one, it's, you have visions and you have dreams. And it's like, why do you get those visions? Why do you get those dreams? Are they just for you to think about or are they for you to do? Right. So if you can visualize yourself doing it, like you visualize yourself having your own, and you will, talk show, interviewing people like myself. And, it will come to pass, you know, and so it's like, I have so many dreams that they haven't gotten here yet, all of them, but I know they shall come to pass. Right. So, you know, that's why I have to keep moving.
Right. Exactly. You know? Exactly.
Yes.
And you have to step out and do. I posted a quote the other day on my social media about you have to create your opportunities. You can't sit back and wait for them to be handed out to you. Yeah. And these days with technology and all that is available to us, there's no reason why we can't create our own opportunities. So I just, you know, with all that's available, I said, let me just go ahead.
Yeah.
And do this.
It's like, what do you have to lose?
Exactly. Yeah.
You grow through your mistakes and error. If you didn't make any mistakes and errors, you will not grow because you'll become complacent and stay right there. Right. So you have to always have that thing where you're constantly striving and driving to make it better. Right. You know, and listen. Even I know I do a lot of talking. But I've done a lot of listening. I've done a lot of listening so you can analyze. So you can take it apart and go, well, this part I'll keep and that I'll just shovel. You know, right. You know, because we learn from other people's mistakes and what have you. Exactly. You know? Exactly. So it sort of prevents us from making that mistake. You know, if we're not hard-headed. That is. Yeah. So, also wanted you to share, excuse me, about your travels. You traveled with. Oh, is this one the Muhammad Ali one? Oh.
She traveled with Muhammad Ali.
For 5 years. Wow. That was quite an experience. And for me, at that particular time, I was practicing Islam. Believe it or not. Wow. Yeah. Excuse me. I was searching. You know, I grew up, raised a Christian, but I was practicing Islam. And the young man I was dating, he was a Muslim as well. And he was a quote-unquote bodyguard for Muhammad Ali. And in return, what happened, so we got to go to all the fights. We had to be there at all the fights. Wow. I got to chaperone his children from Khalil, the ones that were the twins, not the young lady who's the boxer. Right. However, I did, twins, yes. I did did a little work with them, but during that time, that was in California, and they were like little girls when he was married to their mom, Portia. Trust me, I know the family real well. Okay. And but it was like just looking at greatness. You know, so it's no matter if you were a Muslim or Christian or whoever it was, and the humility. See, this is one of the things I loved about him. He was the sort of man that he gets up in the morning and he has his little breakfast and what have you, and people are waiting at the gate to go past security so to come see him. And he would have them all come into his house. And he would entertain them. He didn't know them from Adam.
I was about to say he let strangers come?
Strangers would come in. That was the kind of person Muhammad Ali. That's what made him such a special man. He would, because he loved doing, I don't know if a lot of people knew this, but he loved doing magic.
Really?
And he had studied how to do magic. So he would, and the people would just love it. Yay! He would love, he loved it.
Wow.
And I can recall when he first started, first he had been in the hospital in Chicago with pneumonia. And then from that, he started to proceed to get a little bit ill. And at that particular time, I'm trying to think, it was a herbologist or something. He had this man come in, because, it's like so funny when people get ill a lot of times, and everyone has a cure for whatever is ailing, and, that's, it can help, but when you wait too late or too long to correct things that you're doing wrong with your body, but I can recall that we used to drive him around all over the United States at that particular time, wherever he had to go. He didn't want to fly; he wanted to ride in the car. So so this made me travel, have conversations. He would always tell me, the guy I was dating that was his bodyguard, he's not good enough for you. He would tell me.
Really?
Yeah. I wish I'd known he was going to answer, but I would have brought the nice pictures I have of him with myself.
Yes, she has pictures with I've seen, but
yeah, they do exist. Yes, that was a memorable experience. He's a memorable person, because it was like where I was able, because he was older than myself, of course, but it was like you looked at what made him him. Why is it he can do all this and other people can't? So even though he was considered a Muslim, but he had the covering of God over him. Cause people loved Chinese. I don't care. They couldn't speak a word of English, but they could say Muhammad Ali. It was so funny. From Africa, wherever, can't speak one word of English, but they could say Muhammad Ali. Wow. He was like, just like the way our President Obama is. I'm sure he's able to go anywhere in the world, and they know exactly who he is. Trump will be forgotten. He's going to be a memory, and that's it. But, when their greatness, see, there's a difference in greatness.
Come on. Come on. You better preach.
Yeah. I don't know, but, I know greatness when I see it. We all do.
Yes.
And we recognize it. And, we learn from that. Watch how they move.
Yes. Yes.
Like I always say, close talk, people. I know how to command and demand your attention. I know how to do that. But still remain humble.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you notice that about greatness, people who are great, they are so humble.
Yes, exactly.
My son got to meet Barack Obama when he was just a senator. And I'll never forget this. He gave my son a $2 bill and he signed it. I didn't understand the greatness at that time because he was just a senator. We lived in Chicago, and we It's a country club over there where they would have all their little political this, that, and the other. And my kids were going to camp over there, you know. And they ran into him and, hi, yeah, because they're little kids. And I never, he came home, and I at that particular time, I was collecting $2 bills.
Oh.
And I stuck it in my little thing, and I had a big thing like this. But I came down on luck. You know, everything's real. And that $2 bill that he had, that Barack Obama had signed, was one of the two.
Oh,
Again,
wow.
I really, and
wow.
He says, Mama, you should just think. He says, had you kept it, he says, it would have been worth some money. He reminds me of that often.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But,
Okay.
yeah. That's...
Wow, that's awesome. Well, we're going to move on here because we have to wrap up soon, but we want to share some more of what you've brought to share with us today, some of your creations, and I'm going to share this piece that I have on as well.
You want to go first?
Well, yes, I can. I can go first.
And with all this.
Thank you. So this one, what is this, like a shrug? Would you call this a shrug?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to stand up. Sorry, Facebook. Go to my Rara Style Appeal and page, and you can see it there. But this is what she created.
It's like a shawl.
It's like a shawl,
but
this is what she created for me. And
it goes into a jacket. This is look how fabulous it drapes on you.
Yes, I love the way it drapes, and it has the hood attached.
Yeah.
So.
And the color is you.
Yes,
because you're not afraid to wear color.
Yes, I'm not afraid to wear color.
And the gloves. Okay. Work your gloves, dear. There you are.
The gloves.
Very nice.
Wakanda. Okay.
Very good.
I am going to, I'm going to do this for Facebook. Okay, everyone. I'm going to get down here so you all can see. I got to scoot in this way. Okay. So you all can see how fabulous this is. Okay. I'm scooting in a little more.
Okay.
But seems like there's something going on this side. Okay. But this is it. And come in more this way. Here we go. I want you to see. I hope you can see.
And it can be worn not just with slacks. You can do an after 5 and put underneath that and it will still say this just as nice. You know, it depends on which direction you want to take it into.
Yes. Okay. So now, we're gonna go on over here.
Okay, why don't you? You can just pull it and commentate.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you get?
Yes. Let me. Just you're fine. I'll just step right over here.
Okay. There you go.
Okay. Oops. Almost lost my family. And we're gonna also feature one of your pillows.
Okay. Can we do the girl that have the face?
Yes.
Yeah. She has a face. Okay. The other ones are blank canvases.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you can share about
these
that.
are. This is I brought a couple of since I was representing Black Queens today, and what I started doing, back in 2006 is doing a collection of Black Queens. They're African Black Queens, obviously, and And what it is, they're actually blank canvases, and you can have your face airbrush on it. And it also has a little voice box. I don't know if you can hear this. But she's saying, I love you. But it has voice box in. So if you had your face airbrush on here, you could put your own voice saying whatever it is you want to express with others. But that's my Queens. It's my very first one I built, so this is the one I don't sell.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
This.
So now,
can we see this?
I'm gonna have you shoot down something else.
Okay.
so people can see me more.
Right.
So you scoot down a little further. Okay.
I can go over here and
Okay.
I just hear my voice. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So this is a fabulous suit made by Fontessa. And again, my Facebook, the followers on my personal page, you can go to Rah Style Appeal. I do apologize because the camera is on my laptop, so it's sitting a little lower than my iPhone camera, but you can see all the detail of this fabulous piece she made.
This is one of the pieces that Carney Wiggins inspired me to do.
So this is Carney Wiggins'
This is
inspiration.
all pleated, which looks like a simple little pleated skirt. However, it's wrapped. It's just a wrap skirt. It's so femme on, so comfortable to wear. And I've put it on, this is English. This is my English interpretation, you know, because it's the suit, and then of course you have the little cape that goes over it, you know.
This is what I call, it reminds me of a Sherlock Holmes look.
Yes, it is. Yeah, absolutely.
So, and also share the hidden treasure.
Yeah.
It has a split along it right here. So I was telling Fontessa that brings the sexiness to it with the split right here on the side.
Yeah, it looks prim and proper, but
prim and proper, but you can, bam, stick that leg out too.
I like to do like a high boot.
Yes,
a high boot with that, you know, so it stands out.
Yes.
You want me to, oh, can I take, oh, I can't get past you. I'm going to have to let you do it.
That's okay. We'll,
okay.
And this, okay.
It's my tuxedo.
This is her tuxedo. If you saw the promo video I did advertising, promoting the show for today, this is the tuxedo she wore, that she made. And you can see the detail in the back and the detail on the sleeves.
Yeah. And we won't forget my little...
and her gold digger bag that she makes.
Right. See, I like the idea when I do this is that this strap can become hidden.
Oh, so you can... Oh,
you can tuck it in and just carry it.
Okay.
You know, so you don't have to you don't have to wear it over your shoulder. I just put it over the shoulder.
Oh, that's
nice.
That's
the femme part of it all.
That's the femme of the gold digger bag. You can take the long strap and put it
in the bag. And it's also reversible, believe it or not.
Oh, and it's reversible.
And it's reversible because it can become the silver.
I'm gonna need one.
Okay. Here, let me take this over here.
And then this.
That's really. You want me to hold this while you? This is sheared lamb.
Sheared lamb.
Not real, but that's what they call it.
Okay.
But it's sheared. That's why it has the curly look to it.
Yeah.
Because like when you take a sheep, and you I shouldn't say lamb, sheep. When you take and shear all the wool off of the sheep, this is what it looks like underneath. Not the color or the design, but the fabrication.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what this is. And I've chosen, because I'm going forward already, getting ready for fall next year, I've decided to do this. And I'm looking and seeing that they're, where are we? Are we here? Here. Oh, okay. Okay.
So
I am doing shoes. I am covering shoes to match all my outfits.
So she bought a pair of shoes. You said you got these at a thrift store, right?
Yeah, got them from a thrift store.
And she
which
took
I'm
the
going.
material and she covered the shoes with the material that is also made of the suit.
In fact, what I'm wearing today, believe it or not, is do I have the purse in here? I don't know what I did with. But at any rate, the shoes I have on today with my outfit, I have the purse. I covered the shoes to match the purse that I don't think you can see them, but anyhow, there they are.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
that's.
And then the bag also, you got the bag to go with that.
Is it over there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought I had it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the bag. Once again, I like this strap. But at any rate, it matches the shoes. So if ever you have a shoe that maybe you love or felt comfortable wearing, but you have no need for that color anymore, you bring it to me and it will become a new look. I would give it a little more. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that now?
I don't know if you can see. What we'll do, everyone, is I'll take pictures, some photos of the shoes and the purse, and post those as well, along with this. I'll post later after this video. So anyway, we're about to wrap up, but there's one thing I wanted to share, and you had shared this with me, Fontessa.
Oh God, I've shared so much.
Okay, I know.
Should I sit back down?
Yes,
okay.
All right. Share this. I love this. This quote that you have.
Oh, my business. You read it.
Okay,
I don't have glasses on. I can't see.
Quote, and it's by Ernest Holmes. And this quote is called "My Business," and it says, "My business is directed by divine intelligence. The all-knowing mind knows what to do and how to do it. I do not hinder, but let it operate in my affairs. It prospers and directs me and controls my life. My affairs are managed by love and directed by wisdom, and they cannot fail to prosper and expand. My affairs are in His hands." And that is by Ernest Holmes.
Which I thought was so appropriate for you.
Really?
I did. I thought that. I said, this, you need to frame it, or I'll get it framed.
Okay.
So when you have your office.
Okay. Yes.
When you have your office, set up for your show, it'll be something that, it's just a reminder.
Thank you.
To keep us humble.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And because we're servants, we're serving all.
Exactly.
You're serving the people who enjoy doing what you do and what I do.
Right.
You're serving them. So, and you're doing a wonderful job. And let me just say now that it's been such an honor to be a guest on your show. I do hope you have me back again.
I will. I have to.
I have so much.
So much creativity.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forget. Well, I'm going to share. I'm going to post that later because I'm going to wear that Sunday.
Okay. Good.
So there's another fabulous piece that was her inspiration that she had done for me. It's a leather dress. It was a little. It just needed something done to it because it just wasn't flowing on me the way I desired. So we had it repurposed.
Yes. And it's sharp.
And now it's a coat. It's like a trench coat. And when you see it, I'm gonna wear it Sunday for church, but it's sharp. And she took it and ran with it and had somebody. She created a design for it and then had them do the work. But it's sharp. So anyway, thank you everyone for being here again today. I really appreciate you. Again, I have a good lineup coming up in a few more days of my next guest that I will be talking with. She has an amazing venture coming up. If you go and visit www.whenwomenheal.com, that's whenwomenheal.com. This is going to be a global summit held in South Africa. They are locking arms. Women in the U.S. are locking arms with women in South Africa for this particular global summit, which is all about promoting and empowering women in the areas of education, economic development, and self-care. And I am so fortunate and blessed to be a part of this. I am on the fashion show committee for this particular global summit. The summit takes place the end of April through the beginning of May. So please go to www.whenwomenheal.com and show your support. There is a donation page there available. It would be definitely be privileged to have you support this great cause and what they are doing. So please go and check it out. Thank you again for being here today. And again, my website is www.rahrahstyleappeal.com, and I will be in touch to let you know about my upcoming guests for whenwomenheal.com. Okay? Thank you, and have a blessed day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, very nice. It's always so comfortable talking with you.
Thank you.
Yeah. You always surprise me with what you never tell me what you're gonna talk about.
She said she enjoyed it today. Thank you, Lois. Okay, I'm still trying. This is not like TV. It's a whole different dynamic here. So,
okay.
But thank you, Lois. We see you, and I'll look at your post and reply back.